Hi everyone, hope all are doing fine. We are uploading videos covering syllabus of different topic on political science. In this video, we are going to discuss about a famous philosopher Thomas Hobbes. Before going to discuss about Thomas Hobbes, there is an information for you. For daily dose of quiz on all topics, visit my Facebook page Political Science Tutorials. It will help you to revise the syllabus in short time. Now we are going to discuss about Thomas Hobbes. Thomas Hobbes was born in the year 1588 and died in the year 1679. He was an English philosopher of 17th century. He developed his theory of social contract when civil war was going on in England. He is best known for his book Leviathan, what was written in 1651. The book Leviathan was written in 1651, or the other name of the book is The Matter, Form and the Power of Commonwealth. What the book was about? This book was the recommendation of a central authority which is unlimited, unquestionable to avoid the indiscipline of society and civil war. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about Hobbes' concept of state of nature, social contract theory, sovereignty, laws of nature, Hobbes' Leviathan. First, the state of nature. Before constructing his theory, Hobbes described the state of nature. In his description, he mentioned there was no authority to judge what is right and wrong in the state of nature. Only might was the right. People looked for themselves all that they could, and human life was solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. These are original language which used by Hobbes. So keep in mind these words that Hobbes used to describe human nature. And in this state of nature, the condition was only a state of war, and you may call it even worse, war all against all. There was no industry, no knowledge of the face of the earth, no culture, no letters, no arts, and worst of all, continual fear and danger of violent death. If this is the state of nature, people have strong reason to avoid it, which can be done only by submitting some mutually recognized public authority. Here starts his theory of social contract. According to him, the contract was the mutual transferring of right. In the state of nature, people enjoyed right of natural liberty, but this right of natural liberty was unlimited, and there was might is only right, but people thought that only by mutual agreement they can change the situation. So they choose the path of peace. As human beings are rational because they know the peace of path is good. Thus they enter into a contract and give their liberty to the hands of sovereign to safeguard their life and perpetual peace. We have discussed state of nature, and to get rid of the intolerable situation of state of nature, people as a rational being transferred right mutually. Here is the question: to whom? To which authority? This authority is, according to Hobbes, this authority is sovereign, and sovereignty can be gained by two ways according to Hobbes: by institution and by acquisition. By institution, sovereignty can be gained. It is to get rid of two intolerable situation of nature and decided to over a common authority. And by acquisition means when threatened by a conqueror and promising obedience to a common authority to protect them. Whatever may be, both are for to get rid of fear, whether it is from their fellow being or by any invader or conqueror. This authority is supreme, and this is undivided, unlimited, unquestionable, and this sovereign is the soul of the Leviathan. This Leviathan is not accountable to people. It is above law and not bounded by any constitution or contractual obligation. Here lies the Hobbes' main concept of absolute sovereign. So, what is sovereign according to Hobbes? It is unlimited, undivided, unquestionable. And this is his absolutist concept. Sovereign is only accountable to God and natural law. We will discuss about natural law later. So, sovereign is only accountable to God and natural law, not to people. According to Hobbes, the sovereign must control civil, military, judicial, and ecclesiastical powers, even the words. So, there is no separation of powers in Hobbes' discussion. He was not in the in this belief that there should be any separation of powers. So, in brief, the sovereign is the head of the Leviathan, the maker of laws, the judge of first principles, the foundation of all knowledge, the defender of civil peace. So, sovereign is the head of the Leviathan and he is the maker of laws. He is the judge of first principles and the foundation of all knowledge and defender of civil peace, and only accountable to God and natural law. Now, what is natural law or laws of nature? These are which Hobbes discussed that should be followed by sovereign. It is to mean that what way we want to treat by others, we should treat others in that way. And these precepts, conclusions or theorems of reasons are eternal and immutable. And for if someone follows this, they will be prevented from inequity, cruelty and ingratitude according to Hobbes. These laws guides human being to strive for peace, and these laws prevent Leviathan from iniquity, cruelty and ingratitude. Previously we discussed about Leviathan, Hobbes' book, which was written in 1651. This is a book which is a metaphor for the state. Leviathan, the character, is a metaphor for the state. Metaphor means symbolic representation. It is an artificial person made up of all the bodies of its citizens. In other words, it is the representation of all members of a state of their mutual transference of natural rights. The head of the Leviathan is sovereign, and Leviathan is constructed through the contract by people to escape from the horrors of nature. And the power of Leviathan protects them from the abuses of one another and continue peace in the state. Hobbes is criticized for his absolutist concept of sovereignty. His sovereignty is absolute, undivided and unlimited. And his sovereign is not a party of the contract. People once made contract, then it is final. Sovereign is not the party of contract. Then what sovereign will say people have to do, or so sovereign's will is the supreme. Hobbes aimed to demonstrate the reciprocal relationship between political obedience and peace. Only political obedience can maintain peace. If people obey sovereign only, then peace can be maintained. Hobbes argued rebellion is not justifiable, but the question is, a sovereign who is a product of people's will, he is not accountable to people. It is not acceptable for good governance, because in good governance the authority must be accountable to people. Hobbes did not provide any chance to people to change their rulers, but if a ruler is not ruling properly, there should be a chance for people to change their rulers. According to Hobbes, only people will obey their authority, but the authority has no reciprocal obligation to their subject. Hobbes left for his citizens only a choice between absolutism and anarchy. Either they will follow the absolute sovereign, or there will be a state of nature where there is always chance of a chaos. Now the question is, the sovereign is also a body of human being. If some decisions taken by him or them is against people or against the welfare of the state, no authority to criticize in Hobbes's theory. We know that separation of power is necessary to check and balance the power of supreme authority. In every state there is a separation of power system among legislative, executive and judiciary. But in Hobbes's theory there is no scope of separation of power. It is only absolute sovereign and people have to obey his order. Hobbes's sovereign is not accountable to people, but the sign of a good governance is the accountability of the authority. Hobbes's sovereign is not accountable to people who conferred him sovereign power and trusted for their well-being. A good governance is only considered when authority is accountable to its people. Hope the points which are discussed about Hobbes are clear to you. Now share my video and subscribe it and write your comments in the comment box. Thank you.